On to this now. Afrikaans singer Steve Hofmeyr has acknowledged that comments that he made on social media about LGBTIQ plus people were hurtful. Last year, Hofmeyr posted a video on Facebook criticizing a decision made by Walt Disney to attribute sexual identities to their movie characters. Hofmeyr was dragged to the Equality Court after a complaint was laid with the South African Human Rights Commission. For more on this, let's speak to the Commission's Eastern Cape Provincial Manager, Dr. Eileen Carter. A very good evening to you, Doctor. Grateful for your time today. Was it an easy process, an easy route to get this to this point where Hofmeyr has agreed to apologize, go for diversity training and pay up to, I think, 100,000 Rand to the organization that took on this case?
Well, I do think it has been quite a process, especially to get the matter even instituted in the High Court in Quebec. It was a strange process for the court even to grapple with right at the start, but it has taken us 11 months to get here, and we're very happy that we could reach a settlement that is to the benefit of the vulnerable community who were the victims of these utterances.
While this has now been welcomed, the agreement by Steve Hofmeyr to apologize, as I said, go for the diversity session as well as pay what is basically a fine, if we can put it that way, it does not undo, does it, the damage caused by the comments that he made?
Well, I do think in this instance, our complainants were happy with the settlement. Ourselves, we were also happy with the settlement because the nature of a settlement is to come together and to come to an understanding. And Mr. Hofmeyr was very clear in his apology that he understands that there was hurt that was caused to this community. But also, I think it's very important that the message that this matter sends is that there's a massive role that social media plays here. And that there's a responsibility when we do enact in social media, that when we post, that we must know wherever the hurt is felt, whoever opens that post, wherever they are, that's where we will have to go and account. And I think if that is the message that also comes from this, that is very valuable.
But, I mean, when you look at the comments that he made, Steve Hofmeyr basically said that the LGBTQI plus acronym basically includes people who engage in bestiality, and that the community was in support of the grooming of children. How then do we deal at a community level with people who've held on to that?
Well, I do hope that it is a matter of advocacy, and that is ours as the Commission as well. We need to advocate, and we need to do so very urgently, that the rights of all vulnerable communities are equally protected in our Constitution, and that we need to make sure that everybody knows this, and that everybody also knows that we can take them to court if they go against the principles of the Constitution, Section 9 specifically, and of course our Equality Act.
Why not jail for this sort of comment?
Well, what you have to understand is this is a settlement agreement. So this is something that the parties consented to, that we were satisfied that this is what we can reach and come to an amicable agreement upon. But you must also know that the Equality Act provides for the National Director of Public Prosecutions to institute criminal action and activity against a perpetrator in this regard. So the options are there. If this matter was to proceed to court, that is absolutely one of the options that the court has to make an order upon in terms of Section 21 of the Equality Act. So there are options, and it is definitely not something, a soft issue. The Equality Act allows for all of those avenues to be followed.
Talk to us about this diversity and inclusivity session that you're going to host at the Human Rights Commission that Hofmeyr now has to attend.
Well, it is a conversation that we need to have with Mr. Hofmeyr, who've indicated amenability to sit around a table and let us discuss these issues. So for the Human Rights Commission, you would know that we have a protection, a promotion, and a monitoring mandate. And in this instance, it is our promotion mandate that is playing a massive role here. We need to promote the general understanding of tolerance, of diversity within South Africa. And from the Human Rights Commission side, we will be having this conversation with Mr. Hofmeyr, with all the role players that can assist in this regard.
When it comes to diversity and inclusivity awareness sessions, do they really... I'm trying to phrase this properly. Do they basically undo bigotry, or do they just say to bigots, just express these opinions in smaller circles, in your safe spaces, basically?
Well, what we can do is, as the Commission is, like I've indicated, we have a role to play here to advocate, and we must do so vigorously, because our Constitution is the primary law in our country. It is basically the Grundnorm behind everything that we do. So human rights is not just a side issue. We need to make sure that people know what the Bill of Rights say, and that once they become accustomed to that they become comfortable with the terms and conditions basically in the Bill of Rights. And if they still decide that they want to persist with their bigotry, well, as I've indicated, there are enough avenues for us to use to make sure that that persistence will be met with a law.
Dr. Eileen Carter, Eastern Cape Provincial Manager with the Human Rights Commission of South Africa. Thank you.